Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon all my old, my respected brothers and sisters out there. I hope that you're all in the best of health and iman. Okay, so this lesson, as always, is based on the brand called Headway. Okay, this is published by Oxford University Press. Okay, and the book that I'm talking about is, as usual, is going to be that book. Okay, and this is the pre-intermediate special edition and second edition. Okay, this is the latest version. Okay, that is available for students in the Arab-speaking world. Okay. So this video is going to be will be focusing on unit number 4. Okay, so this is number 4, and number 4 is going to be talking about mainly, or rather, the main focus. Okay, it's going to be about let's say we're going to talk about much or many. Okay, we're going to talk about some or any. And finally, we're going to talk about things like a few, a little, and a lot. Okay, so hopefully that all makes sense. So let me switch over to the main page. Okay, Bismillah. So now, guys, hopefully you can see, and also I might also turn on my highlighter. I like to use my highlighter. So here is a nice little yellow cursor here. Okay, so here, as I said to you guys, we're going to talk about much or many. We're going to talk about some or any, and we're going to talk about a few, a little, a lot. Maybe not all in this first video. Okay, so this video is like part 1, if you like, okay, of unit number 4. Come on. Anyway, there are other things to discuss, such as articles. Okay, we're going to talk about the subject of shopping, and how to say or how to read prices. So when we say how much is that, we can say it is £1, or in Saudi Arabia we say it is 1 riyal. Okay, good. So to start off with, okay, we have a warmer exercise. Here we have a sentence about what did you do yesterday? Right. So the question is, what did you do yesterday? So, and every person who answers, they tell us what did they buy yesterday. Okay, from the shopping. So here's an example. The first one says, yesterday I went shopping and I bought an apple. Okay. So that's the first person. The second person will say, yesterday I went shopping and I bought an apple. So you repeat the previous item, and some bread. Okay, now remember guys, and we put it at the last thing you say. All right, and here's the next example. Yesterday I went shopping and I bought an apple, some bread, and the last one, a car. Okay, mashallah, they have a lot of money. So I will do one more. Okay, one more. So yesterday I went shopping and I bought an apple, some bread, a car, and a computer. There you go. See, this is my, this is an example of what we did yesterday. Okay. Now, the grammar here, when we talk about much, many, some, any, a few, a little, a lot of, we're talking about quantity. Okay, how to quantify something. Okay, so. Is it something that we can count with our hands, or do we count it as one thing? All right, so this is very important. So here we have 2 students. So the students are Sam and Tariq, are 2 students who share a flat. Okay, They live together. Basically, they live together as friends. Sam is at the supermarket with the shopping list. So what's the shopping list, guys? If you look to your right, this is the mobile phone here. This is the shopping list, okay? This is the shopping list. All right, and they are talking to each other on the phone, right? So this is Sam, okay? And Sam is talking to this gentleman, Tariq. Although I'm not sure if this guy looks like a Tariq, but yeah, let's give him that, okay? So this guy's Tariq, all right? Let's go back to the first page. We're going to listen together the conversation between Sam and Tariq, okay? So let's try and figure this out, okay? See if this works. The audio at the moment isn't picking up. I don't know why. Is it the cursor? I don't know. Probably the cursor. Let's try and close the cursor off. Okay. Oh, maybe it's the highlighter. Yes, it's the highlighter. All right, so here we go.
Unit 4, 4.1.
Hi, Tariq. I'm at the supermarket. The list says milk. How much milk do we need?
2 liters.
And eggs? How many eggs?
A dozen.
And what about onions? How many do we need?
A kilo's enough.
And rice? How much?
Oh, 2 big bags of rice.
Right, okay, great. So hopefully you've heard that, okay? So let's listen one more time, okay? It's always good to listen twice.
Unit 4, 4.1.
Hi, Tariq. I'm at the supermarket. The list says milk. How much milk do we need?
2 liters.
And eggs? How many eggs?
A dozen.
And what about onions? How many do we need?
A kilo's enough.
And rice? How much?
Oh, 2 big bags of rice.
All right, excellent. So now you've heard the conversation twice, okay? So I want to highlight something quickly. So we're using the words like how much and how many, okay? So for example, when we talk about milk, okay, we use how much, okay? When we talk about eggs, we use how many, okay? You see, you have to look at the difference. When we talk about onions, again, we use how many, okay? And rice, the last one they talked about, they use how much, okay? So what you have to understand is this. So let me just switch over. So when do we use how much and when do we use how many? Okay, so this is very important. So the key thing is, and I will show it to you by opening up a Word document, okay, that the noun that you are talking about, okay, is it countable or is it uncountable? Guys, okay, so this is the word here. So the first one that we're going to say is countable, okay? So countable is what I can count with my hand. So 1, 2, like for example, onions, 1 onion, 2 onions, 3 onions, 4 onions. So here, for example, when I say 1 onion, okay, it's just 1, okay? But when I add more than 1, okay, then I'm going to say 2 onions with an S. If you can see the S here, this is the one I've highlighted. So we use S to make the plural for the noun, right? Okay, so these nouns, so like onions, like tomatoes, these are countable, okay? So you can count it with your hands, okay? And we have the opposite as well. The opposite is, we say it is uncountable, okay? Uncountable, tamam? So the uncountable, for example, such as milk, rice, you know. So these two, we can't say I have one rice, two rices, three rices. No, that will be incorrect. So I can't put an S after them to make it into the plural. Okay, that would be a big no-no. Tamam? Big no-no. Okay, so I'm going to put a big X next to that. All right, that's a big X. You can't do that. All right, so with uncountable nouns, we do not add an S. Okay, so here, if you remember the question, when they ask you the question with countable, the question always starts with, you guys should know, how many. Okay, so how many with how many onions, how many tomatoes, right? Good. And when it comes to the uncountable nouns, when you write a question, okay, we should say how much. Okay, so how much milk, how much rice. Okay, here we go. Excellent, well done. So let's switch back to the website here. Okay, so if we look at the list here, we have milk. So milk, we should say how much milk. Eggs, this has got an S. How many eggs? Onions, another S. How many onions? Rice, there's no S, so must be uncountable. How much rice? The next one, bread. Okay, again, no S. How much bread? Tomatoes, there's an S. How many tomatoes? Okay, cereal. Okay, there's no S. How much cereal? Cheese, there's no S. How much cheese? Cola, we should say how much cola? Olives, there's an S. How many olives? Mineral water, how much mineral water? Crisps, how many crisps? And finally, peppers, how many peppers? Okay, guys, excellent, well done. So now you know the general rule. Okay, so here we have a quick exercise. All right, so here we have things like 2 large bottles, just 1 box, 200 gram of mozzarella, 4 packets, 6 cans, half a kilo of black ones, and finally 4 big red or green ones. Okay, so which of these quantities match the shopping list? So for example, the first one says 2 large bottles. Okay, so let's go down here. Let's do highlight and delete everything. So the first one says 2 large bottles. Okay, so what are they talking about? Are they talking about, maybe, let me just clear the page. Okay, are they talking about milk? It's 2 bottles. Okay, so what can be bottles? 2 large bottles. Maybe they're talking about mineral water, right? Maybe they're talking about mineral water. So 2 large bottles of, so we should say 2 large bottles of mineral water. Tamam? Okay, good. The next one says just 1 box. 1 box. So just 1 box. Box of what? Box of, maybe usually they're talking about a box of cereal, because usually a cereal like Kellogg's cornflakes, all right, they come in a box, right? So we can say just 1 box of cereal. Okay, oops, with an A. Oops. 1 box of cereal. Good. The next one, 200 gram of mozzarella. So 200 gram of what was it again? 200 gram of, yeah, so mozzarella. Okay. E. Okay, this is M O double Z. Whoops. So 200 gram of mozzarella. So mozzarella is a kind of cheese, right, guys? So we should say 200 grams of cheese. Okay, so let's write of cheese. Excellent. All right, let me just highlight that for you guys to make it a little easier. And the next one, 4 packets. Now, often when we talk about packets, okay, it's usually like a small plasticky bag that is sealed, okay, it's not open, and usually inside you might find crisps that you can open up and eat, right? So we should say 4 packets of crisps. Okay, 4 packets of crisps. Good. The next one says 6 cans. So cans, you know, the cans that you can drink from. So usually we might be talking about cans of cola, right? So we're going to say 6 cans of cola, or Coca-Cola, some people like to say. Okay, cola. Good. The next one is half a kilo of black ones. What is something that has a black in color? So I think we can safely say olives, right? Olives usually can be green, right? And it can come in black as well, okay? So we can say half a kilo, make it bigger, half a kilo of, okay, what was it? Of black ones, okay? Of black ones, okay? Here they're talking about, of course, they're talking about olives, okay? Let me highlight that. Good. And I think the last one is 4 big red or green ones, okay? 4 big red or green ones, okay? So here they're talking about, I'll show it to you guys, about peppers, okay? So peppers. All right, excellent. So that's easy enough. So here we go. Let's just do a quick summary. Here we have 2 large bottles of mineral water, just 1 box of cereal, 200 gram of mozzarella, sorry, I should say of again, mozzarella cheese, okay, 4 packets of crisps, 6 cans of cola, half a kilo of black ones, they're talking about olives, and 4 big or green ones. These are the peppers. Okay, guys? So excellent. So here we go. That's easy enough. Now let's proceed to the next page. Okay. So here we have another listening exercise here. Okay. And we're going to focus on a particular grammar here. Okay. So let's listen to the conversation together. Okay.
.2.
Do we need anything else?
Let's have a look. We've got some apples, but there aren't any grapes. And there isn't any coffee, but we've got some tea.
Is there any orange juice left? Or did you finish it?
There's a little, but there isn't much, so we need some more.
And vegetables? Have we got many vegetables?
Well, I can see a few carrots, but there aren't many potatoes. Oh, we need a lot of biscuits. Jed and Mark are coming round to study and they're always hungry.
Okay, lots of biscuits, and I'll get some more cola. See you soon.
Right, so here in this conversation, guys, there's a lot to read here. Okay, so let's listen to it one more time.
4.2.
Do we need anything else?
Let's have a look. We've got some apples, but there aren't any grapes. And there isn't any coffee, but we've got some tea.
Is there any orange juice left? Or did you finish it?
There's a little, but there isn't much, so we need some more.
And vegetables? Have we got many vegetables?
Well, I can see a few carrots, but there aren't many potatoes. Oh, we need a lot of biscuits. Jed and Mark are coming round to study and they're always hungry.
Okay, lots of biscuits, and I'll get some more cola. See you soon.
Excellent. Right, guys. So this is quite interesting. So here, there's a lot to discuss here. Okay. So here, before we were talking about how many and how much. Okay. Now we are using other quantifiers. So how do we talk about quantity? Okay. So for example, here we're using the word anything, like any. Okay. Here we're using the word some. Okay. Here we're using the negative. There aren't any. Okay. And here's the negative again. This is plural, and this is plural, and this is singular, but this is for uncountable. There isn't any coffee. Okay. And here's a question: is there any orange juice? So orange juice is uncountable, so we use is and any. There's a little. So remember, we use a little to talk about something that is uncountable. Okay, good. So what I will do is I will conclude for today's class. I don't want to go in too much and make it too long-winded. Okay, so this class, okay, we briefly talked about, if you guys remember, we talked about many and much. Okay, so remember, when we talk about many and much, we use many with countable, like how many apples, how many bananas, how many onions, okay, etc. With uncountable, we use much. So like, for example, milk, we can't count milk. How much milk, how much water, how much orange juice, okay, or how much petrol, when you add petrol in your car as well. Okay, good. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you very much for your time, and inshallah I will post another video continuing from this page. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.